First question, easy one. How has Beat City impacted your life?
Well, positively, first of all, that with a big positive. Um, One thing about Beat City that because I'm an older generation player, right? I mean, I'm in my mid 70s. So um, I would say that being around Dylan, who's got younger ideas, Connie, who's always up to date on what's new and turns me on to that type of music and stuff like that. Um, it's been great for me that way. Plus, it's always a positive for me to get a validation in my life's work if I can actually see students progress, and mine do. And they come in with like big fear and this kind of stuff and whatever, afraid of their own shadow. And within a year, we're doing open mics together and stuff like that. So for me, it just always brings a positive sort of reaffirmation to what I believe in and what I've kind of the road of life I've chosen.
Where did you learn your love for music?
My dad. Right off the bat, my dad, because my mom and dad were musicians in our restaurant, and my dad played the drums, and my mom was a keyboard player and singer, right? So when I was very young, 10 years old, my dad gave me alto saxophone and told me I had to learn it because he needed a horn player in his band, right? So I got a grace period of a while, and then I was just shoved into the deep water really, really quick. But I got to say, as petrifying as that was at times, it really did make me grow up fast musically. The other part of me that got lit on fire was, and everybody thinks this is like corny and stupid, but it's the truth. And I would say that it's probably more common than they want to give me credit for around here. But I saw an Elvis movie when I was like 11 years old. And that lit a fire underneath me. The rhythm, the unbridled wildness of it all. I mean, I was just like turned on. So that really got under my skin. Along with, and I had a great love for the music I played with my mom and dad. Then the next, thing happened was actually Bob Dylan in the, say what, 63, 64, right around there. And then the Beatles come, So, yeah, all of that on top of what I was learning with my mom and dad, because I was still playing with them.
What kind of music do you play, and where do you tend to play it?
Now, you mean currently? Well, if it's not Norman, that band, we are a cover band. We started off being a heavy cover band of the Beatles, playing like a lot of their stuff. And we still do Beatles tribute shows where we just play their music. We don't dress up like a bunch of and try to speak with an English accent. That stuff revolts me, right? But we do go out and we have a narrative that's read about the history of their music and stuff like that. And then we try to play their songs as closely as we can.
How did you first hear about Beat City?
Started in Allegheny. Connie, best friend, told me that the band was opening up, that originally was four band members that were starting the business. And when it distilled down to two, those guys were working full time, right? So they needed somebody to open the store up until they got their day jobs done, and then they would come in and finish. So she asked me to, open the store, and I'm still, right? So I was pretty much in on the ground floor.
What's your favorite memory of Beat City?
My favorite memories of Beat City are the original songwriters shows that we do downstairs, the open mic songwriters for original songwriters, right? Because we've heard some incredible incredible stuff, right? I mean, just incredible, incredible stuff.
How has Beat City supported and encouraged your creative journey?
Like I was telling you earlier, it's exposed me to new music that I wouldn't find on my own. I'm not done exploring the music that I grew up listening to. I'm not done figuring out all the Elvis songs and all the greatness there, or the Dylan songs, or the Beatles. There's still so much more in there, and I've been at it for 60-some years, right? So that's where my default position takes me all the time. But I come in here, and Dylan will be playing a song, like Trampled by Turtles. I had never heard of them. Now I like them. Haunted Wind Chimes. I had never heard of them. Now I like them. You know what I'm getting at? So, yeah, no, they definitely force me to relate to my pushing my boundaries.
And then, is there anything else that you'd like to add about your time at Beat City, and anything that you think is important that someone should know about?
Well, I think that if you start bringing young kids into, right, and you're giving them lessons and stuff like that, there's a certain discipline that they're being taught, and other teachers will handle that part. But for the older folks, there's no better exercise for the brain than music. So a ukulele, a mandolin, a guitar, some lessons, learn how to pick a little bit, learn how to strum. I mean, we're talking motor function, we're talking memory, we're talking the creativity thing, we're talking math, we're talking all those things have to light up at once in your brain when you're playing music. And so you can't beat that for an elder. I mean, they say reading and playing cards is great. Music is like 5 times better for your brain. Okay, so that's my blurb to the world. The young kids can get some discipline when they're younger, but the old folks get some good brain exercise.